Tuesday evening, South Carolina weather watchers. Hopefully, everyone has had a fantastic Tuesday. I'm your host for South Carolina Weather, Jesse Peterson, and let's talk about the weather for your Tuesday evening going into your future. Now, looking at the radar right now, we do have seems to be a little shower or downpour going on inside the low country of South Carolina, going down towards Savannah, Georgia, as well. As you move down here into like the Charleston radar, a lot for some reason is happening, but there goes a little shower right there. As you see, it's moving down just to the south and west of Rincon, Georgia. I think that's how you say that. So yeah, over here in Rincon, Georgia, um, showers, downpours are all moving through there. Move up here towards the Wilmington, North Carolina radar. Again, all of them seem to be doing the same thing right now. I don't know what's going on with them, but just have some frequency going on. Not much that you're going to have to worry about in terms of that. But talking about the entire United States now, you can see that we do have some rain going on up here inside of New York, as well as over here inside of the Four Corners region of Colorado, Utah, Arizona, and New Mexico. As well as over here in Nevada and California, rain going on over there. And up here inside of Washington, rain is going on through there. Obviously, down here in Florida, the outer parts of Milton are starting to move its way up to Florida right now, with some of that rain moving into like Palm Bay, Florida, even down to the south of Tampa near Bradenton, Sarasota, Wauchula. I believe that's how you say that. Down there inside Florida as well. Also have tropical storm warnings or tropical storm watches and storm surge watches going up for the low country, the coastal low country of South Carolina and Berkeley County. But that's because of tidal Berkeley County. So that's pretty much all what's going on right now in terms of tropical storm warnings in the entire United States. As we go on and move on to our cloud cover, again, not much, but I did say that cloud cover from Milton was going to start building into the region. And right now you can see that it is starting to seem that way as Milton starts to move its way up into northern Florida, the cloud cover at least, up in northern Florida, southern Georgia, and as well as southern South Carolina. But low isolated clouds remain inside of South Carolina. As we move into the cloud cover total percentage, here you can see that cloud cover is continuing to try to move up into South Carolina. But then as we get into like tomorrow morning, for example, for our Wednesday morning, cloud cover still continues to build as mostly cloudy skies move into South Carolina. Here is our current temperature: 70 inside Columbia, 73 in Charleston, 71 in Georgetown, 71 inside of Myrtle Beach, 64 inside of Rock Hill, 64 in Greenville and Spartanburg, 68 inside of Anderson, 71 in Augusta, 73 in Barnwell, Fairfax, and Walterboro, as well as Beaufort and Savannah and Moncks Corner, as well as 70 over there inside of Kingstree as well. Here's our low temperatures for tonight: around 56 in Columbia, 65 inside of Charleston, 66 inside Hilton Head Island, 60 inside of Georgetown, 61 inside Myrtle Beach, as well as 53 inside of Chirac, 54 inside of Dillon, as well as 52 inside of Rock Hill, 53 inside of Spartanburg, 54 inside of Greenville, 55 inside of Anderson, as well as 54 inside Greenwood, 57 inside of Aiken, 58 in Barnwell, 60, I believe I already said 66 inside Hilton Head Island. No precipitation is expected over the next 24 or so hours, none at all. So that is good. Here's the SPC outlook for tonight. We actually don't have anything for the next 3 or so days, even associated with Milton either. No precipitation, or I'm not going to say no precipitation, but no thunderstorms are expected over the next 3 days. And also, no excessive rainfall is also expected over the next 5 days as well. As you move down here towards like Florida, you see that they're under a high risk of excessive rainfall. Orlando, Lakeland, Tampa, the entire Tampa Bay region, and up there towards Daytona Beach in Florida all has a 90% chance for some flash flooding, which usually mean life-threatening flash flooding in that pink region. The last time we were in that pink region was when Debbie came through and produced up to 10 to 20 inches of rain to the low country of South Carolina. That was the last time we saw a high risk of excessive rainfall as that rain moved through. So nothing going on for days 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as we go into the National Hurricane Center outlook. But before we talk about that, let's go on and talk about the models for the next 48 or so hours. You can see here that not really much is going on as we go through, and you can pretty much see it. Here's what around 12 hours from now will look like. Again, nothing going on. Even as you go into around 10 o'clock p.m., no rain or nothing. Maybe some isolated showers possible near like Allendale, Beaufort, at around like 12, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Maybe near Charleston as well as around 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. But that Milton's gone. Milton will be gone, and that cloud cover will be leaving us as early as Thursday afternoon. So, again, seems like that most of the rain will be confined down there towards like Beaufort, but it's not much at all. You can even see down here, really only tracking around 1/100 of an inch to 1/10 of an inch. That's really all we're really tracking for. You can also look at gust as well, because I do want to look at wind gusts as well and see what they show. So let's go on and move into Wednesday and Thursday, mainly Wednesday night, and going into Thursday morning. We're going to check it out here and see what happens as well. Here it is. You can see as we move through, again, not really seeing much. But you can definitely see the tropical storm force condition along the coastal region, 20 to 25, 30, maybe even 35, 36, 37, 38, maybe even 40 down there in the coastal regions near like Beaufort and Savannah, Port Royal, Hilton Head Island, and then over here in Charleston, probably around like 30 mile per hour. But then once you get past Charleston, you get into like North Charleston, Hanahan, gets reduced to around 20. So again, you have to be pretty much along that immediate coastline to really feel those tropical storm effects. Other than that, if you're inland, you're probably not going to receive much, especially if you're like far into, for example, like Columbia, Rock Hill, Greenville. Probably not going to receive much in terms of wind, especially from Milton either. So that's that. Let's go on and talk about the tropics. Tropics right now seems to be showing just again that active activity. Here's Milton over here, 165 miles per hour. This is, I believe this is a category 5. Let me go ahead and check it out real quick before I say something and then I end up wrong. Yeah, category 5. So 165 miles per hour with gust. If I was to guess, probably gust of up to like 190-ish miles an hour. At the like very max around like 200 miles per hour, but that's like very very max right there. But that's going to continue through, and then as you can see, pretty much it's just talking about storm surge being one of the biggest concerns with this. Storm surge right now seems to be, at least peak storm surge seems to be around 10 to 15 feet right now in the Tampa Bay region. That is catastrophic. Yes, that is catastrophic storm surge, and definitely maybe unsurvivable in some cases, especially as it gets up to around 15 feet. So hopefully everyone that's going to be receiving that storm surge has evacuated, especially from that storm surge. And honestly, it's not going to be that bad for us, but we will see some surge as well from the South Sandy River all the way down to Edisto Beach. 1 to 3 feet of storm surge is possible, and going from Edisto Beach down all the way to the South Carolina-Georgia border can see up to 2 to 4 feet of storm surge. So that's why we have those storm surge watches in effect, as the potential for 1 to 4 feet of storm surge can move into the low country of South Carolina. So that's why we have some storm surge watches up for places like Beaufort, Hilton Head Island, as 2 to 4 feet is possible as we move through, especially tomorrow night. Tomorrow night for sure. Not really much in terms of rainfall, like I've said before. And arrival time of winds is really going to be, again, near that Beaufort region, Edisto Beach, Folly Beach, Charleston, Allendale as well. Where up to 30 to 40 mile per hour wind gusts is possible, sustained around 10 to 20-ish. So that's that right there. Look at key messages right here. Devastating hurricane force winds expected along portion of the west coast of Florida, where a hurricane warning is in effect. Milton is forecast to remain a hurricane as it crosses the Florida Peninsula, and life-threatening hurricane force winds, especially in gusts, are expected to spread inland through the peninsula. And probably, if preparations to protect life and property, including being ready for long-duration power outages, should be complete by tonight. So if you know anybody down there in Florida, especially near the Tampa Bay, Orlando regions, for sure, you gotta let them know. You gotta, hopefully they're ready to go for it. If they are staying, especially if I was near the Tampa Bay region, I'd be leaving. But if it was me, and I did know somebody there, I'd be letting them know, saying that I hope you got enough food, enough water, enough gas as well. Make sure that they have enough gas, because a lot of places could be without gas for a while. So don't want to be stuck inside that situation at all. But definitely got to make sure that they pay attention for stuff like that. And that seems to be pretty much most of it for Hurricane Milton. We talked about the flash flooding. We talked about the storm surge, the wind speeds, and all that kind of stuff. And, the tornado threat as well. Tornado threat as well is a pretty interesting threat with this, as it's not really going to be affected too much for South Carolina, but it will be affecting, like Florida, for example, where we do have a 5% risk of tornadoes from Miami, the Keys, all the way up to Miami, all the way up into like Orlando, Daytona Beach regions, and then day 3 as well goes all the way down there into Florida as well. But that's pretty much, again, that's pretty much all that's going on with Milton. We're going to move back on to South Carolina now as we go on and talk about the future for South Carolina. So let's go on and move here to the southeast. And here is Milton down there to your south, or the bottom side of your screen. As this is 8 o'clock p.m. on October the 8th. It's in the top right corner of your screen. As we move this forward, Milton making landfall, obviously, and it will just push out the way, bring us some gusty winds, maybe some isolated showers to like Beaufort, Hilton Head Island, Charleston, potentially. And then that's going to move out, and we're still going to be just nice, very nice in terms of rain, as some cold air pushes in, especially after Milton passes. Dry air, nice cold air will start to get into South Carolina, especially as we get into like mid-October. And then as we continue through, cold air continues to dominate over South Carolina through the 16th, the 17th as well. And then another little tropical wave. Might not say a wave, but you can definitely say some sort of tropical rains will start to occur again on like October the 19th. Not sure what this will do quite yet. And then again, this is the happy hour, or some people like to say the crazy hour. So a lot of unrealistic scenarios happen. And this is on October the 23rd, has a major hurricane going up into New Orleans. So again, way too far. That's over 300 hours. So that's not even worth really talking about in depth right now. But that seems to be about it. Let's go on and talk with the audience. If you want to be a part of the audience, you can by joining us at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Let's see what the audience has to say. Mr. Anthony does say good evening to you. Trail says hi, Joseph, hello. Manana says, hello, Jay, you're doing an excellent job. Keep going, don't give up. You are doing great. Thank you so much for that message. Thad says, good evening, cousin. I hope you had a great day. I did have a good day. And then Confucius says, Draconid meteor shower tonight. It's a waxy crescent moon, so it should be low natural light to see it easier. I had no idea that was tonight. I might have to go outside. If there's no clouds, I might have to go outside in around an hour or so and see what happens. I'm not quite sure. Do you know like exactly when it's going to happen? If it is happening tonight, do you know exactly when it's going to happen? And I'll see what I can do about that. I might have to get some pictures right quick. If it does happen at a good time. But that's pretty much it in terms of the chat. So we're gonna go on and talk about San Antonio and Raleigh, and then we'll get back to Confucia whenever they come up with that response, and then we will be out of here for tonight. So let's go on and talk about that real quick. So here's San Antonio over here. If you look at composite reflectivity right here, we're just gonna go on to total precipitation. And we're going to go on to total precipitation as well. See what happens, and seems to be here. Seems to be, or seems to look like no precipitation is expected for San Antonio. You can move over here to Raleigh as well. No precipitation expected for Raleigh either for the next 48 or so hours. So, kind of like a nice dry period for both Raleigh and San Antonio. So. But let's go on, while we're waiting on this, let's go on and check out the likes. We have 13 people. 13 people watching and only 8 likes. Let's go on and get that like button up. We have 13 people in here and only 8 likes. We're trying to get double-digit likes every live stream during nighttime hours. And we have 13 people in here. So let's go on and hit that like button. And let's get to, I mean, we could get to 13. Just everyone just hits the like button if you don't know how to. If you go on, if you're in full screen, exit full screen, it should be right under the video. And your phone would be in, like, pretty much in portrait mode. But going through tonight, low temperatures tonight at around 61-ish, high temperatures tomorrow at around 93, low temperatures tomorrow night at around 63, high temperatures going into around 91, 92-ish. Something that I do see that's interesting is that your low temperatures are, like, in like the low 60s, but then your high temperatures get up into the 90s. So that's a 30-degree difference. A 30-degree difference from the nighttime hours all the way up to the afternoon hours. So that's a pretty big jump right there. A full 30-degree difference right there. Moving up towards Raleigh. Let's see if Raleigh has some insane jumps as well as we move on up here. Low temperature tonight for Raleigh around 52. High temperatures tomorrow only at around 72. So around a 20-degree jump this time. Low temperatures tomorrow night at around 50. Tomorrow night around 50. And then high temperatures going only to around like the mid 60s. We'll watch and see what happens there. But that seems to be it in terms of the temperature. Let's talk about severe weather. I doubt that there's any, especially with Milton not really doing anything else and the United States being quiet right now. I doubt that there's really anything going on. But here is excessive rainfall, nothing for day 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. And as you move on into excessive rainfall, well, we just talked about that. SPC outlook, the only thing that's going on is pretty much Florida. And down there with Milton, and that's pretty much the only thing that I'm seeing right now in terms of any type of severe weather. As we go, I do want to see what's going on because it's super quiet, and the only thing that's really going on right now is some frost up there inside like the northeast, as well as over inside of Michigan, Wisconsin, and then maybe some fog going on in the west. I believe that is fog advisories, or no, air quality alerts. Air quality alerts also over here in the west, and then obviously Hurricane Milton being the most prominent thing right now, being probably really the only concern right now. So, do you want to say thank you to the 3 people that did just hit the subscribe button as well? We were at 267, now we're at 270. We were able to break free of the curse of us staying at 269 for some reason, and we're at 270 now. So let's keep on pushing. Let's keep on getting to 300 here. Confucia did respond and say anytime after 9, but I'm still waiting to see one. Alright, well, I will keep that in mind. I will go outside at some point and see what happens if I see anything interesting or anything like that. But that seems to be about it. Trail does say thank you for showing up with the forecast updates. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone that is at the subscribe button, like button every single day, especially the people that do it every single day as well. That comments on every single video as well. And comments on all of the lives as well. Those are the, honestly, well, I'm not going to say that because obviously everyone's appreciated, but I'm just going to end it off by saying everyone's appreciated. It's that everyone that hits the like button, everyone that has hit the subscribe button. Also, make sure you don't hit the subscribe button twice as well because I will unsubscribe you. But that's enough rambling. I'm going to head off for tonight. Hopefully everyone has a fantastic rest of your Tuesday evening. I'll be back tomorrow morning with your Wednesday forecast update at around 9 o'clock in the morning-ish. So everyone have a fantastic rest of your Tuesday.